How's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to the Napoleon Total War 3 Battlefield. Well, I should say, it's not Total War 3. My bad. It's out of force of habit, because that is, obviously what I record the most of. Today, I have a little bit of a showcase. Don't panic. I'm not leaving NTW3. Still my favorite mod of all times. But, this one actually looks like a ton of fun. I'm really, really curious to get into it. This is the Field Command Napoleon Total War. Still in development, still in beta, and it took some inspiration, I believe, or at least some inspiration from NTW3. I would say it's not the same. It's a lot faster paced than Napoleon Total War 3. Not as much work on like skins of various uniforms and larger scale. So take that as the cons or pros. Bigger armies, maybe less detail, probably because more detail to the units is probably going to make this run slower and slower, especially with the mass amount of troops that are on the field. But like I said, it's still in development. Who knows what the years will bring? And NTW3 is like over a decade of development, which, I mean, that's what makes it such an amazing mod. But I'm excited. This is a 3v3. This one is on a NTW3 map, but it's Tolentino. And like I said, a 3v3 with the Prussians facing off against the Italians and British. So, kind of excited to check this out. As you can see, the fighting is already happening. We have a little bit of skirmishing between this half battalion of skirms and some British, some cavalry even maybe going here. But what looks like it's really forming up to be a pretty vicious fight is over here. You have the Italians on the hill, staring down the Prussians who are advancing up to them. Now there's a lot of artillery, and I'm going to try to remember to talk about the things that make that kind of the special perks in this game, the cool stuff to kind of pay attention to. I think one of them is you have stuff like marching bands. These give increased morale. You also have like staff, and then you have scouts. I think staff though give you increased sight, so you can have, there we go, an adjutant. These guys give increased sight to your lines, not just your troops that do. Having extra generals around does increase the line of sight here. Now we are seeing quite the vicious fight already. This battle just started, guys, and already the Prussians pouring some volleys. Obviously you have Italy warming up their lines on several fronts. They have cavalry in reserve. We may have a bit of a push going for this LOC. We have a lot of skirmishers pushing up. We even have some cavalry, some scout hussars going maybe for an artillery piece. I don't see an artillery piece. They're going to get volleyed in the face. These guys are going to all die. Or not. It's an odd, a little bit odd. I'm not sure what happened there. Now there's some cavalry in the back lines. I think just trying to scout out here. But the main fight, like I said, happening here. Prussia is starting to push up their lines over here. Obviously, the battle's already in full swing. Artillery not really able to affect too much of this fight. But it does look like the Italians are getting a little banged up here to the constant volleys of Prussia. A lot of cavalry. I'm curious if they're going to try to use this. A lot of hussars. Ooh, the death heads. Alright, so they got the totem clumps looking. Speaking of which, looks like they actually are pushing forward. Maybe they're going to go for an attack here on the flank. I'm not totally sure. On this side, you do have the Italians taking a bit more of a fight here. Keep in mind, this one army. This is one Italian army, I do believe, facing off. Maybe it's two. But the British are going to be reinforcing them So he's going to be taking on 2 Prussian armies all by themselves, at least for a little while here. So the Prussians are pushing up some grenadier battalions. Do we have a cavalry engagement? Yes, they did charge in, broke that unit. I don't know if they were able to form square. But Italy is getting pressed pretty hard on the flank here. Maybe wise to fall back from this position. Usually on this map, best course of action is to hold the center, use this house, and pivot around. Maybe I usually try to hold this road here. And, you know, I'll give them a little bit of the hill, but then you can consolidate a little closer to your lines versus being stretched along the entire front. Now, however, there is a very large... Ooh, we have a cav fight. But like I'm saying, the units are very large, so they probably can afford to be in multiple places all at once. And obviously the British are defending the flank here now. Got some like Scottish Landwehr mix. Not sure exactly what unit that is. It looks like half of a Hanoverian Landwehr and half Scots. Alright, so Italy is now conceding the hill. They're going to be falling back from it. They obviously are holding in the center for now. And yes, this is graphics pumped up to ultra. But obviously you can see it's going to be a little hard for my computer probably to like render all the grass and foliage and units as well. So, ooh, look at this. We have some grenadiers or some guard from Italy. Going against some grenadiers from Prussia. This uphill fight being gonna turn probably very bloody here. Now the skirmishers still holding the side. You have masses of the reserve Prussian army pushing forward here. Let's see what kind of units they have. Looks like kind of like some musketeers, a little bit of grenadiers here. I'm not seeing any really guard units, or maybe there are guard units. I'm just not seeing them. But a lot pressing and concentrating in that center line. And we do have grenadiers going for the LOC, and here comes the Italians back up to contest this hill. Let's see if they get a volley at point blank on this Prussian line. Not sure why they're not firing. Turn fire a little off. These guys are shooting. These are the guys who replaced them, and they're not shooting. Oh, there we go. They did take that LOC. All right, so they did take it. That's going to be even more difficult for the Prussian, or for the Italians. Now, they did reform here. You see the Prussians reaching the brow of this hill. Honestly, I think they should probably just have a constant motion forward. They only have a certain amount of time before the reinforcements of that British army arrive. And maybe it's 2 Italian armies, I'm not totally sure. Oh, more Prussians going for the artillery piece from the British. And that's a very nice artillery snipe. And now they can, these Landwehr, no, these aren't Landwehr, these are Lancers. Starting to just, oh wow. The British are getting just absolutely wrecked. We have a bit of a melee here. Some grenadiers charged in on the Italian line infantry. Did not go too well for them, and we have some more infantry pressing the attack. Now over here it does kind of look like Russia is just, I mean, I thought the British maybe would have some better shooting stats. The UK has some better shooting stats, but maybe they're just outnumbered at this point, so they haven't been able to really, you know, utilize that. But here comes the Austrians. So they're on the move. I'm not sure which flank they're going to be going for. I would have thought they maybe would have reinforced the center, where things are looking a little dire here. Russia's made some huge gains here. I think Prussia actually looks like they'd be a fun faction to try playing. Granted, the Prussians are utilizing stuff like the marching band. Well, they're going to get the artillery up. They saw the general. They have a reserve line, likely just keeping them behind the brow of the hill, keeping them safe from artillery or musket fire. And Prussia seems to be taking a little bit of losses here. This unit is definitely losing. Italy's not like you try to utilize this flank here and pour in more and more firepower. These guys get real close. That's pretty cool. Well, then again, these are on a guard. These are probably an elite unit, I would assume. We check this right flank. Looks like, yep, the Prussians just putting that constant, steady pressure. They have the artillery now up, the 6-pounders. They do not hold this LOC yet. They seem to be okay with, I would send the sappers in. Like some sharpshooters, skirmishers, or something like that. I would take him out with some sappers, maybe. Oh, we have a Prussian grenadier charge. Prussians definitely seem to have utilized a lot of grenadiers in their armies, and it seems that maybe this will be something that's going to help tip the scales. Keep in mind, guys, Austria is yet to advance. I'm not sure what they're doing on this far flank. Maybe they're trying to swing far around, but I mean, their allies kind of in a desperate need of some reinforcements. Oh, also, you can put deployables up, so like, you know, the spikes, stakes, I should say, that sort of thing. You can put up deployables. It's something I think kind of a little bit newer. I mean, sappers can do it and that sort of thing. I mean, Italy's holding. Oh man. Backfire. This is why I will turn the guys facing the other way, just so I don't have to worry about toggling on and off fire at will. I'll literally face them this way and put them right here. So I'll face them like this as reserve. They can easily just turn around and shoot. It avoids friendly fire and also makes them instantly able to be thrown into the fray still. It's like Prussia's trying to bottleneck up this Austria. Maybe he's taking out the artillery piece. I think he's trying to.
Our men are running, sir.
And the UK are just getting outnumbered here, and it's just causing them to have some heavy losses. Huge concentration of Prussians in the center, though. Grenadiers, I'm seeing some musketeers. Now, noticing these lines are very strung out compared to the Russians. They seem to have a little bit more of a close connection of line. Like, their lines are not so strung out. their units. I'm not sure if that's a bonus or not, because I'm still used to NTW3. Man, where's Austria? I'm assuming they're just going for this flank. Like, if they do, they can crash in, start rolling up Prussia. Now Prussia, you can see, is pulling back already, probably in preparation for a massive attack. But even if Austria strung along this side gave UK an opportunity to basically tighten up their line a little bit more, concentrate in a smaller area, that'd probably be super helpful. Not sure which men they're referring to. Unless there's cavalry still in the back lines. I'm looking at the small screen, I can't even see anything. Oh! We have some dragoons pressing forward here. If I had a way to get rid of this mouse thing that shows like this unit thing on enemy and friends, I could get some amazing screenshots. Like, ooh, it'd be beautiful. That's the only challenge is when I do get screenshots, you have to put your mouse down here, even when you're getting screenshots, otherwise it'll get noise, you have to put it down there whenever you get it.
Our men are running, sir.
Makes my life so hard, isn't it? No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so these dragoons gonna pour in here. Square gets formed though. Be able to stand fast here. It does give Prussia's opportunity to push in closer because the squares are formed, so the firepower is going to be very much decreased by the Italians. And they can start lurching forward with a lot of reserves. They are massive, a lot in the center. I'd be very concerned if I was on the Italian, I don't know even what to call them, on the Italian side, you know. That's a lot of concentration of cavalry and infantry.
Our men are running, sir.
Ooh, some heavy cuirassiers from Italy smashing into the flank of this musketeer company. This LOC is still not taken. It's very surprising. Now we do have the Austrians on the flank. Man, I feel like they could be a lot more aggressive, pushing forward here. Like, extremely aggressive. Like, they could have formed up right here and gone right in. I don't know where their cavalry is. If they have cavalry, they could have pushed this artillery piece and just absolutely wrecked it. This artillery's bouncing overhead, thankfully for now, but watch out for that canister as it gets closer. Over here, I think we may have another cavalry charge going in. Square does get formed, though. It's like Prussia's kind of taking a break on this side. Maybe a little bit of engagement still. They're winning in the center, guys. They just have to keep putting the pressure up and just be stagnant on the flanks, and things will work out beautifully for them. Now, obviously, yes, they have an Austria they have to worry about, but they could almost deny this side. So, like, just delay a little bit while constantly pushing forward in the center. I feel like it worked for them. I think it worked quite well.
Units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Oh wow, they broke. cavalry has broken against the Italian lines. Italy's still holding strong here. There's a little bit of reserve lines from the UK that could push forward as needed. So there's some more cavalry from Prussia. Those cuirassiers finally do break. Looks like the coalition, I'm just going to call them the coalition that are fighting the Prussians. The coalition is kind of being more defensive with their cavalry, and it kind of has helped quite a bit for them now. And the Austrians are so far on the flank. They've deployed so far away from the fighting. Oh, there's some right here. Alright, that's good. Guarantee you this canister is slaughtering them. They need to... Even a bayonet charge against this canister would be perfect. They have all these troops right here. Just go... Oh, there we go. Cavalry gonna go in for the artillery piece. Let's see if damage will be done before or after. I think they're gonna finally get it. We have another engagement here of melee. Wow, they're just point blanking each other. I'm not sure what's happening right there. See, if I were the UK at this point, I would have pulled back to these high ground here. Be a little more helpful. I mean, get them closer to your guns. However, I guess this is a pretty good position to be able to just fire point blank into the enemy with the artillery piece. Ooh, more and more cavalry going in here. Once again, though, Italy's just being very defensive with their cav. That is actually a very crucial quality of being a general. I mean, what is happening over here? Archer looks like he's dead. I'm being patient. I suck at being patient, especially with my cavalry. I love to just throw it away, you know. And then be upset when it actually, you know, doesn't come back. Oh wow, Prussia! They are feeling the hurt from the cavalry now. Now he's going to rush forward some more reserves here, but still, Italy's starting to really hurt this center. I'm seeing a lot of depletion in the center actually for Prussia. And of course, you have just Austria rolling over. The artillery piece is going in mass everywhere. Yeah, Prussia should just fall back from this side. I mean, this is a losing battle unless you can defeat them in this center. It does like they're in a pullback. They do have some of the high ground, so they could be a little more defensive here at least. Even have some of this Prussian army throw some of their reserves into the center. I'm not sure where the Prussian reserves went. Maybe that's what came over here to deal with this Austria. Either way, you can tell this this Prussian army, they are outnumbered right now. It does seem like the Austrians' morale is not the greatest, so that may actually be something that they could work against the Austrians. And they're actually going against a grenadier square as well, so the back cav charge may break this cav. Well, it doesn't look like the UK are now making a counterattack. And now Prussia is going to have to stand on the defensive, at least in the center. This right flank is still pushing forward. Not sure what Italian army is left to face them. I feel like if anything, the Italians are going to be pulling more towards the center, which means they can.
Our
pull
men
towards
are
the center.
running, sir.
That may actually work out very well for them. That cavalry did break. That square is still holding strong. Where's the general? Is that the general? Oh wow, it even looks like Blucher. That's impressive. Wow, that's... I could have told you that was Blucher. Dang. Those Austrians are on the attack.
Our men are running, sir.
Still. Let's see if they form square in time. The artillery piece may finally be getting broken by some light SARs on the brink. Oh, another cavalry charge. I think just based on the fact that the armies are a much larger size of units, it does make the battles, you can stand in a shootout way longer, and I feel like their shock to morale isn't super significant, at least from what I've seen. Just observations, not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I definitely noticed there can be a lot more exchange than fire for a very much longer length of time. Italy's almost done. It does look like they have had some heavy losses. I mean, keep in mind, they've been holding this hill for a very long time.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Looks like they took the LLC back. You still have that Austrian push being made. And Prussia actually starting to just break, unfortunately. Man, more Austrians way in the back lines. There's nothing they can do about it. Artillery battery will be set up, it looks like, though. See that artillery can start really changing the course of events, but I mean, Austria just being able to push all the way around Prussia's lines, just slowly but surely dwindling. And the UK seem to just have a lot of units in reserve now. Look at that. I thought they were actually slowing. I thought the army was shrinking. man, look at all those Austrians.
Yes, sir. Artillerie zu Befehl.
This is giving off like almost pre-Napoleonic War vibes. Like this is almost feels like, just because the factions fighting each other, it's like, you know, it reminds me of like the early 1700s battles.
Our men are running,
So
sir.
obviously, uniforms, tactics, factions, a little different, but it kind of reminds me of that because, I mean, I've not seen a single French army in this battle, which is kind of odd. Like, NW3 is very much historical accuracy, being used to being, you know, the coalition is a set and you can't play as the Imperials on the coalition side, vice versa. It's very historically accurate, which I'm a nerd for that stuff, so I appreciate that. But you know, this is kind of a cool change of like, you know, what if Prussia joined France instead of joining the coalition? That's kind of what this feels like. And then France decided to ditch him.
Our men are running, sir.
So you, like, units like this will give a boost of morale, but also they're extra like officers to have to give you a field of view, extra boosted field of view, basically, of the battlefield. I think it's actually kind of cool. It's like it's simulating like a field, like a understanding of passing along the chain of command, like what you're seeing, and having an officer to actually be able to give that observation. That's kind of what it's like, from what I've understood. And you can always go and find the Discord and maybe get into the beta testing if you want to, you know, check out this mod while it's still being developed and fleshed out. This artillery is going to definitely be a pain in Austria's side as they're advancing, but I think they have enough troops to get it. Oh, and also the artillery is not as accurate, but more deadly. So when it does hit, it will just knock down. It will dismember. It will kill. But it doesn't always hit. So you know, just little changes. I'm not remembering all the changes, you know. And hopefully, you know, I can do justice to the mod of explaining it, but. Oh, look at this guy. He has his pistols out. That's cool. They're like, yep, we're ready to ride, sir. Alright, Austria lost another line. Just concentrated artillery fire. Unfortunately, I mean, these sappers, they're going to stretch pretty thin pretty soon. Over here, both sides have kind of spaced off. Now there's a little bit of still. I'm surprised that the British haven't pursued this fight. I mean, this is a very weakened Prussian army at this point. Even over here, like pressing forward multiple units, just in the smaller space, get those reserves and seal their fate. Look, there's only like what? 2 line infantry. 2 lines right here. That's it. Versus almost quadruple that. They got him. Unfortunately, as much as Prussia made that amazing attack up the hill, they are going to run out of troops very quickly here, especially when you start to see how strong the UK look, plus some Italian reserves that are resting up, and Prussia's out of cavalry. that's cool. Look at that, he has a stinking spyglass.
Our men are running, sir.
Dang, I didn't realize they had a spyglass. That's cool. I wonder how they get that. If it's just like an animation they have. Either way, this Prussian line has collapsed. This one's about to. I'm going to kind of tap the extra speed here. Unless they start doing some crazy stuff. But they're just going to be shooting, then, you know.
Our men are running, sir.
Basically just an artillery piece left. We'll see some cool canister shots, maybe. Or they're just going to let... Oh, there's some life hussars still over there. But yeah, look at this. Prussia's breaking. But well fought. Well fought, I will say. Definitely the flanking Austrians saved the day. They took a long time, so it was very, very close for a little while there. But they managed to get there just in time, build a pour around the flank. And by that time, Prussia had probably run out of troops. Hitting the Italians so hard. May have a oh no, just skirmishers trying to beat down this artillery piece. All right, we can focus on the last. Curious if that animation goes to when they're mounted too. Someone just like pulls out a spyglass. These guys lost their hats.
Our men are running, sir.
It does not seem that the cavalry has a very good impact on infantry, for the most part. Like, I saw them foot this really well with some, what is this, horse guards? No, just some hussars. Maybe they need a horse guard. Maybe hussars. I mean, hussars, to be fair, usually won't, unless you're going to do a morale thing.
Our men are running, sir.
The marching band. They gotta send in the marching band now. That's all that's left. But like I said, I don't see a lot of melee done in the fight. I mean, kind of curious if that's, you know, that's not ready. Oh, is that a general getting in here?
Our men are running.
Wow. The Italian general got all impetuous and was like, you know what, I need to... So this is a marching band as well. Alright. At this point, I do believe there is nothing left. I'm just going to fast forward, but get to the results. I don't know if I have to pull them up. But a coalition, as I'm going to call it, victory versus Prussia.
The entire unit is dead, sir.
Like I said, I'm not totally sure if there's a lot of troops left. If nothing else changes, I'm just going to skip to the end so we can see the results here. Alright guys, so at the end of the battle, I just realized there's an LOC general that you can have each time that you can have retreat at the very end. I think it makes them all retreat, so once you realize it is done, you don't have to wait to kill every single army. Man, it's kind of cool. But here we can see on the armies, it's kind of nice to have the results pulled up here, and I don't have to, you know, go pull them up. So anyway, on the Prussian side, you have Why Hello, got 1632 for the kills. Lucy with 2291 for the kills. And Heartless, 1567. On the Coalition side, Captain, 2424. Nice number. Yosef with 2305 and Paradumer with 1180. But you can see their deployments, guys. 38, 35, 24, 4, 43, and 39. There's definitely a significant difference in men. And when you total this all up, that's a lot of troops on the field at once. That is a massive amount of troops just for 3v3. But anyway, guys, that is the battle. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all so much for joining me. We do more NTW3, maybe, you know, some of this here and there. Maybe even doing some streaming of it. It's kind of nice to switch it up every once in a while. You know, break the repetition. But don't worry, like I said, I'm not ditching NTW3. No, I'm sure no one's actually truly worried. Everybody knows I can't get away from that mod. But this was a fun mod to check out, a fun mod to play on the side now that I figured out how to have more than one mod installed. So, that'll be it for me today, guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and as always, I'll catch you all in another video.